Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, good afternoon, not an evening time show. Welcome to Tuesday 10 with CadChica Sports. I am your host, Sunny Cadwallader, better known in the social media world as CadChica. Tuesday 10 is a conversation that could be centered around 10 questions, 10 tips, or simply just 10 minutes long. But it's a conversation with leaders and up-and-comers in the world of sports, from media broadcasting, business marketing, social media, and more. Today marks a series, I welcome in a guest. It's part of my media partnership, a media partnership that started with last year's Sports Fan Engagement Conference with Q1 Productions. Today marks the second year that I am associated with Q1 Productions. My guest will be speaking at the Sports Fan Engagement Forum in Kansas City, Missouri, March 2nd and 3rd, and I will actually be there this year. I wasn't able to go last year, but I'm looking forward to meeting some of the leaders and innovators from around the sports, social media, sports digital landscape. And my guest today will be speaking there. He's from East Texas Baptist University. Please welcome in my guest, Adam Ledyard. Hey, Adam.
Hello, thanks for having me today.
Well, thanks for joining us. Before we get started and I do my little timer to make sure we stick to 10 minutes, why don't you give a short bio about yourself?
I am originally from Montpelier, Ohio, a small town in northwest Ohio. I've been married for almost 10 years, and I have three boys. I'm married to my wife's name is Thea, and I have Samson, who's almost 6, Ezekiel, that's 4 years old, and a 9-month-old named Daniel Cooper, who we call Coop. Been in sports information for 14 years now, Division II, Division III, NAIA. I graduated from Olivet Nazarene University in 1999, where I played 1 year of football and then finished out my senior year helping with sports information. And I was a general speech and broadcasting major there. I was introduced to sports information at Olivet Nazarene and then did my internship at Rollins College in Florida down in Orlando under Dean Hebel, who was a great mentor in this business. He got out of business about 5-6 years ago. And then from there, I've made several stops at small schools in Missouri, Texas, Illinois, and did a couple years outside of the business working for a church and nonprofit. And then I've learned a lot of things within the business during that time with marketing, branding, design, and everything like that. So that's kind of a short snippet of my bio and where I've been, and I've been able to travel across the country doing this business and sports information that I love.
Well, good. I'm glad to finally meet you. I think we met through Twitter, through probably the SMsports hashtag, but we're also connected on not quite as popular social platform, actually a social app called CyberDust. You are on there. ETBU is on there. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what you're doing on Mark Cuban's CyberDust?
Well, I'm doing more of a connection part of it, just meeting people on there, networking, going through and seeing who like the sports people are on there, sports broadcasting, public relations, that sort of thing, and connecting with them. And then ETBU, we were the first NCAA school to be on CyberDust, and we're still trying to figure out. Dayton's the only other one on there that I know of, the Dayton Flyers. Still trying to figure out how to really use CyberDust, but we're using it for more in-game, impersonal things with videos and pictures and behind-the-scenes stuff from day to day with coaches and office shots and that sort of thing to bring a more personal perspective to the fan and whoever follows us to see what really happens at a collegiate level inside and out during games, during off-season, during practice, that sort of thing. That's what we would like to use it for. And then myself, it can get kind of addicting just going through reading everybody's blast, seeing what they're talking about, and just clicking on. You got to be careful because you could end up spending 2 hours on there just talking to somebody or watching the blast. But that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I was introduced through it when he did the Ohio State-Oregon National Championship contest to get tickets, and I really wanted to go to that game because I'm a big Buckeye fan and tried to. That's how I really learned how to get into CyberDust, was doing it that way. And unfortunately, I didn't win the tickets, but it was still fun getting to know people and watching those people win those tickets and then see them send out dust during the game, letting us know how cool it was to be in his suite.
Yeah, your Big Ten beat my Pac-12, but we won't hold it against you here on the show. Moving on, one of the things I see in my daily job is, because I'm exposed to Twitter I'm exposed to thousands of Twitter accounts on a daily basis. I see the difference between small school social media and big school social media. And it kind of reminds me, has a feel of a small business versus big business. Number one, is that accurate? And number two, what have been some of the challenges or benefits for you working at a small school?
Yeah, I would say there's a small school to big school. There are different things with it. It just depends on how much time you want to put into it. Because small businesses, if they find one thing that they really do well with, they run with it. That's what they make their money on.
Right.
That's what we've done at ETBU, that I've done with Twitter and Facebook, is we found our niche in that area and we've run with it. So some schools aren't trained. They don't understand how to use the social media aspect of it, and that's not their fault. It's just something that is blooms so fast that as one-man shows at the smaller schools, it's hard to learn some of that stuff. If you don't get a chance to go to conferences or network, you're not going to learn those things unless you pursue it out yourself. And if you don't, then you're not going to learn. And so some of those places, they get so busy and they don't have that time to really do that. And so that's the challenge, is as a one-person show, is you don't have that chance to really build up that network and understand what social media can do. Like in a small business, there's so many different little things that you want to do, and you might put out there and get too many things out there, and then you got to figure out, okay, what do I really want to do best? And so I've kind of toned it down to the social media area here, and that's what I've focused on. So it is a different challenge from big school to small school because of staffing and that sort of thing. Yep. But if you focus on that one area, you can really make it strive and well, and make it really work towards you and in publicizing the school. As far as challenges, one of them, is manpower. At a small school, you have to be smart in what you do and how you do it, and partnering with programs within the school with kinesiology, communications, English, some of that aspect. Those are some of the challenges. Is the help. We're fortunate to be in a town that has another college in it. I use their SID every now and then. We're close to other schools in our conference, so every now and then we partner. I'm going to go over to Laterno University tonight and help Danny Campbell with their basketball game because he's shorthanded. So that sort of thing. It's using the people around you and doing that. If you see a department at school that you can go to and talk to their class about internships, that sort of thing. So the challenge is help. That's one of the challenges with it that I face here. And then, but then working with that is going and building those relationships. I've got a good relationship with the communications department, with the kinesiology department. If they see somebody that's interested in sports, they'll send them my way. And so I've had, in 2 years, I've had 3 or 4 interns come and help out, and I've gone to 2 or 3 classes and spoke about internships, social media, athletic communications, and what it can do for them. And so, yes, there's challenges, but there's ways to tackle those challenges. Some of the other challenges where we're at is battling the TV market. We're in between Shreveport and Tyler, Texas, and they both cover our area, and so I've got to cater to both of those areas and working with them and figuring out how to do that. And then at a small school, having multiple events on one day, and how do you staff that when you have, coming up on February 14th, I've got men's and women's basketball, baseball, softball, and tennis all playing at the same time on the same day. So it's figuring out how to do all that and working with coaches and your athletic director and training people how to get it all go off on the same day with live stats and video and everything like that. So, and then balancing the social media. I'm a social media nut. I've got 11 athletic accounts that I monitor on my phone.
I've seen that, yeah.
And so it's just, I get a little crazy sometimes. My wife says, you need to put your phone down. And so the balance of social media and working and family, and sometimes I let it overtake my life, especially with the iPhone Plus, 6 Plus. I enjoy it too much, and sometimes I gotta be like, I gotta put it off to the side. So those are some of the challenges. The rewards is seeing student athletes get the awards that you push them for. Seeing a television station pick up what you've done, the video. For instance, on Saturday we had 2 game winner baskets, women's basketball at the buzzer, men's basketball with 1.7 seconds left, and I put them both on YouTube together and sent them out to the television stations, emailed, and they both picked it up in both markets. So we were on television in both markets Saturday night using our players and things like that. So just seeing that
that sounds fascinating. I mean, with the access you have to those two towns, I mean, yes, there are challenges, but it sounds like you're able to pool whatever resources are available, whether it's a counterpart at another school or your interns. But one of the things that you mentioned that I'm seizing upon is how you have to go out and in a lot of cases find out your own information, learn on your own. And when we talked before, one of the things that you did last year was go to that Q1 Sports Fan Engagement Conference. That was in Dallas, Texas, I believe. This year it's in Kansas City. What drew you to that conference? Was it just the location, or was it the information available? And how did it come about that you're going to be speaking there this year?
Well, it was just a dry phone call that I got from Q1 Sports because they were trying to get sports information directors from Texas to go. And usually I'm leery of those things, but when they sent me this stuff and I saw the information, I was like, I need to figure out how to go.
Yep.
And so I started talking, telling the people here that I wanted to go, and I had an athletic donor that said, hey, I like what you're doing, I'll give you the money to go. And so through that, then I had
awesome.
the chance to go, and it was just, I wanted to go because of who was there and what was going on, and that's how I came of it. And once I got there, it was just a plethora of information. And then this year, I took some of the stuff that I'd learned last year and implemented it this year for what I'm doing. So I emailed Q1 Sports and said, hey, this is what I learned last year. This is what I've implemented this year. Last year you didn't have any small schools represented there. Would you like to have a small school represented? I'd be willing to come up, talk about what I've done in social media, fan engagement, corporate sponsorships, and show a little talk about what we've done here at ETBU. And they were like, yeah, that's great. We'd love to do that. And so one thing has led to another, and that's how I got involved with it. And now I get to go to Kansas City.
Well, cool. I'm looking forward to hearing about it. I will be in that panel. I mean, I'm not in the panel, but I will be listening. So I look forward to meeting you. I look forward to maybe we'll go out and have some barbecue or something, because that's the place to go, right?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, thank you for joining the show. Why don't you give everybody a quick bit of information about where they can connect with you and the East Texas Baptist Pirates, right? Is that right?
Tigers.
Tigers, sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I told you I'm buried in school all day long, so I messed up. My apologies.
That's okay. We're actually launching a new website tomorrow, goetbutigers.com. We're on Facebook. So, all of our social media is Go ETBU Tigers. You can follow me at Adam_Ledyard on Twitter, Adam.Ledyard on Facebook, and then I'm also on LinkedIn. Just look up Adam Ledyard, and I'll show up there. So that's the meetings that I'm on. And CyberDust, I'm Big Adam 77. So if you're on CyberDust, please follow me, and I'll give you a shout out, and we'll see if we can get you some followers.
There you go, and trust me, he will, and he is pretty good on CyberDust, and everything that he touches, he's mastering, and he's a good resource for you. But thanks for joining the show, Adam.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in to a special edition of Tuesday 10. Next week, I'm still finalizing guest details, but it will be a Super Bowl-oriented show, hopefully with maybe 1 or 2 NFL players joining the show. So follow me right here on Google+, plus Sunny Cadwallader, on Twitter and Instagram at CadChica. My website is CadChica Sports, covering the intersection of sports and social media from a very distinct fan perspective. And we thank you for joining the show, and also find out more about Q1 Productions Sports Fan Engagement Conference, again, March 2nd and 3rd. If you are interested and you register, use the discount code CadChica, and you'll receive $100 off. My thanks to Adam and East Texas Baptist. My thanks to Q1, and thanks to all of you. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.